Has Charleston White lost his mind or is he making a lot of sense? In his recent interview with Cam Newton, he said a lot of different controversial things. I want to break this down from a licensed therapist perspective. So you guys stick around and we're going to talk about it right now. All right, so let's get into it.
Thing, Charleston, like I think everything that you're saying has some truth to it. It's just the delivery. You standing, there's no denying that you're standing for and by your people.
Well, here's the thing. When you're addressing evil, you can't worry about the delivery. When you're looking at the conditions of our community, you can't worry about the evil when you got kids that kill kids and say we smoking on Tuka.
Now, do I believe that? Yes, I actually do believe that, at some point in time, we have to be honest and have honest conversations with folks around certain things, especially when it's detrimental to our own community, right? And I think specifically when we talk about delivery is more so trying to be assertive. Sometimes he may come off as being, two to the left, two to the right, or however you want to frame it. But in actuality, it's really about the assertive delivery as opposed to being passive about his delivery. Because when you're passive about delivery, when you're trying to communicate something, it's not necessarily going to be felt per se. You know what I mean? So you have to be assertive in your delivery when you talk about these things. So I do agree thus far when he says, sometimes the delivery is sometimes what we're all caught up in. Is like, okay, we want to wrap our issues in the bow and present it as it being all good. And like, we're going to delicately, try to work on these things as a community. But at the same time, sometimes you have to be straightforward and upfront about what's going on. So thus far, I do agree from a perspective of how should we be communicating and how we should be delivering the message.
See, they wasn't worried about the delivery when these kids in Chicago were talking about smoking on Tuka. They wasn't worried about the delivery. I ain't got no manners for no slut. I'm gonna put my thumb in her butt. The delivery?
Hey, what can I say? What can I say? Literally, that was a good example. We have messaging in our music, we have messaging in our society with, doing certain things. But when it comes to like real stuff, now we want to talk about the delivery. You know what I mean? When it comes down to the messaging, it's like, okay, well, you're saying the truth. It's just about how you're saying it. When we have all these different messages, I guess, on the radio within our music, and we don't really say nothing about it. You know what I mean? So thus far, I'm still rocking with Charleston on this one for sure.
I like girls kissing girls where I'm from. And that's on the radio. Girls on girls. That's promoting lesbianism to my daughter as we driving to school. This song they playing with Drake. Y'all worried about the delivery? These niggas talking about killing each other. That nigga Thug said, nigga, I shot at your mama. You don't mention me no more. He really shot that nigga mama. And y'all worried about my delivery?
There it is again. In our music, what do we say? We actually promote killing each other. I would say as a community, Charleston White is correct when we talk about what we promote in our music, promoting violence and killing each other. You know what I mean? That in itself says a lot, and why is it that it's being pushed still to this day? Historically, we're the only culture that actually promotes killing each other in our media. You don't hear much white folks saying, hey, I'm gonna drive up and I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna spin the block. You don't hear too many Hispanic rappers, from what I've heard, talking about killing each other to the level that we talk about it. Asian Americans or Asians don't really talk about, killing each other, anything like that. Like, we're the only culture that really promotes that. Yeah, and there are systemic issues and things that we have to kind of take into consideration. But I feel like at this point in time, we can still make a conscious choice of what we promote versus what we don't promote. You know what I mean? There's different ways in which now we have avenues of, we don't have to go through the record labels. You can be independent and be successful. You don't have to, be a puppet in the media. You know what I mean? You can actually cut the strings and not be attached. You feel me? So I appreciate this level of his conversation thus far within this context for sure. So we're going to keep rocking and keep watching.
These niggas are confessing to murders on songs. And y'all worried about my delivery? The conditions of black sucking them, talking about booty holes. Y'all worried about my delivery? Come on, don't be hypocrite, black people. Y'all can't listen to this music if y'all so caught up into my delivery. Don't do me like that.
Is that true? Maybe so, right? And I always had this thing, and you guys probably not going to like when I say it, but this is the reason why I'm saying it is because it needs to be said. In my point, a lot of times when we try to talk about, accountability in the black community, it can be seen as like, oh, you're a hater, or you're this, or you're that, or you don't like what I'm doing, but accountability is not hating. I don't think even in this Charleston White's actually coming from a standpoint of, well, I'm hating on you guys. It's just more so the accountability. Why are you attacking me when you have all different other people talking about various different things and nobody's holding them accountable, but you're holding me accountable, right? Thus far, still rocking with Charleston in this context. I know he says a bunch of other things, that I necessarily don't agree with, but thus far, I'm still rocking with what he's saying.
And the way y'all snap and pop y'all pussies to this music, the way y'all kill and drill to this music, don't trip about my delivery. Hey, yo, Easy, why you wear your pants like that? I wear my pants like that because that's easy access, baby.
And that's back in the 90s, early 90s. Some of y'all don't know about that song, though.
Easy, why you talk like that? I talk like that to get my point across. Because when I wasn't talking like that, wearing a bow tie, y'all wasn't paying me no attention, and I was going to the Supreme Court changing laws and legislations in this country.
So if you guys don't know, Charleston White, he actually, was a big advocate in the community. He also did a lot of different things. And there's a point, nobody really knew who he was, right? And, sometimes it does take a little bit of more getting people's attention in order to get your point across. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to social media and media in general. So, maybe the delivery he was doing and the approach he was doing before wasn't really rocking, but obviously now it's working.
I was working with over 50 U.S. congressional members, from Ted Cruz to Mark Rubio, Senator John Cornyn. I was on the front page of the American Bar Association Journal. I had done a study with News 21, Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. Y'all wasn't paying attention then. So, nigga, I gave y'all what y'all want. A ignorant motherfucking nigga that talk like them rappers. Now y'all listening. Now y'all paying attention, huh? I got y'all attention, checkmate. Now let me tell y'all what y'all need to hear. We fucked up as a race of people since y'all so caught up into my delivery. 5% of children now are catching HIV from ages 13 to 21. What y'all worried about? 85% of the new chlamydia, all the new cases of teenagers. What y'all so caught up about?
What I would say is I don't know these statistics. Sometimes with folks, those statistics out there, it's kind of like they know what they're talking about. I always trying to go back and fact check and all that stuff. So if you guys want to, I'll highly encourage you to see, some of these statistics and see if they're actually true. I never take people's word when they talk about statistics as facts until I look it up myself. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we hear this thing and then we go and tell other people, like, hey, did you know that X, Y, da, da, da? And it's like, where'd you hear that from? It's like, oh, I heard Charleston White talk about it. It's like, okay, but did you research it? Like, did you go on Google? Did you go on Google Scholar? Did you look up articles, research, and all that stuff? You know what I mean? Because sometimes, again, people skew things, especially in interviews, when they say, well, the data says X, Y, and Z. And it's like, okay, well, show me the data. You know what I mean?
Nigga, only 35% of most kids in inner cities can read on or above their grade level. What the fuck are y'all talking about? These kids can't read. Come on, my nigga. So if we gonna be real, let's be real. I'm not bashing the black woman in her BBLs. I'm not bashing the black woman because she wearing eyelashes. I'm not fucking with the sister because she got too many baby daddies. I'm addressing men. Just like we abandoned no justice, no peace for George Floyd. Are we still mad about George Floyd? Are we still mad about police shooting? Is that why we not kneeling no more? Are we still boycotting the NFL? What happened to all these things? What happened? Nigga, because I'm still stuck on Tamir Rice while y'all stuck on my delivery.
Hey, sometimes that's the energy. I personally feel sometimes there's like these hiatuses that we hit as Black people, and then we feel like we made it, and then like there's a huge crash, like the stock markets went down, and like for Black folks, you know, it was like, okay, we're supporting Black people. I'm talking about we just as each other, but also society. It's like George Floyd, everybody's supporting Black businesses, everybody's on this high, everybody is, you know, trying to work collectively. And then now, you know, years later, where's that same energy, you know? But that's just my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. And, you know, sometimes it does get like that. It does get like that. So where it's like we're on this high, but then it's like, what happens? You know what I mean? Like what's really transpiring after we had these, you know, high moments, I guess you can say, as a culture.
I'm still mad why ain't now motherfucker tore up the country behind Tamir Rice. Baby Tamir Rice at that. Since we so in tune.
Well, I appreciate Charleston White for, you know, sharing his ideas and sharing his thoughts about certain things and topics, and especially when we're talking about delivery. You know, sometimes you do have to get your point across a different type of way when you're dealing with a different audience. You know what I mean? So, you know, again, I don't agree with 100% of the things he said. In this, I probably agree about, again, with that whole probably 90%. The other 10% is when he was throwing out the data and things of that nature. I don't really know if that rings true, but I will say about 90% of what he said in this clip, I for sure agree. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Let me know what y'all think in the comments as far as like what he said in this interview. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Until next time, Terrence the Therapist. Y'all take care. Peace.